He just made a video updating about it. I haven't seen it yet. Praying to God he did not bend the knee, but I know my boy would never do that.
Hey guys, it's me again, and usually at this...
I shit on him for sounding gay, and then he stopped. Guys, I'm telling you, I bully Asmongold, and we see the effects in real time. I'm telling you, as Asmongold's life coach, we are really saving this man's life here. We are. Let's keep going here.
Point, I've already made like 2 or 3 other videos about why I got suspended on Twitch, and I've been farming this a lot, but unfortunately something that has nothing to do with Twitch at all actually took precedence over this, and that's why I haven't really made any comments or said anything on anywhere about any of this.
Did he get Kaisi pregnant? Wait, is this a pregnancy announcement?
And so, first video, or first part...
I'm sure if he got Kaisi pregnant, I would have heard about it by now.
This video is going to be talking about that, and then the second part is going to be talking about the Twitch suspension. I got suspended for 2 weeks. I'll probably try to appeal it, see if I can get it down to a week. We don't really know.
Nah, don't. Whenever Asmongold leaves, the world gets worse, but his life gets better, and I genuinely just want this dude to just take care of himself. I'm hoping it's not a health scare.
If not, maybe I'll stream on Kick or something. Maybe I'll just take a vacation.
Take a vacation.
I'm not really sure. I haven't decided
Take a vacation.
Yet. But anyway, that's the TLDR. So about 3 or 4 days ago, you know, like, because the day that I got suspended, I actually didn't even go live. Now, why is that? Well, it's because the day before that, I had a health symptom that was identical to my dad's health symptom before he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So this, I got really upset. I was freaking out. And so I'm laying in bed, I'm fucking petrified, I'm like panicked, I'm looking things up online, I'm messaging people, I eventually go to the emergency room and I go through all of this, and I don't want to get into the details of what the symptoms were or anything, because honestly it's kind of gross, but all you need to know is that that's pretty much what happened. And so I fell asleep on the futon over there.
He needs to go offline for like 3 months. He needs to. Dude, I have been telling this dude for years he needs to take care of his health. Bro, if he's having this horrendous shit, he needs to go the fuck offline and fix himself. Apparently he's fine. Bro, dude, there's no way. Listen, guys, I understand that you guys love Asmon's content. So do I. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to this guy, bro. I really don't. What's he going to do offline? Focus on his health, train, exercise, get out of his fucking house, move. There's so much shit that he needs to do. Yes, guys, when he's going live every day for 8 hours, and then he has to talk to his companies, and then he has to talk to his editors, and then he has to talk to his mods, there's a lot of time that he could be using fixing himself up. A lot, obviously. Obviously. He addressed the health in the video? Oh, okay, great. Jesus.
And I wake up, and this is like the day I got suspended, and I had been, like, at this point, I had not been on my computer at all in like 24 hours, right? Because I was so stressed out and upset about this, all I could do was just lay down, and I didn't know, like, am I dying? Is there something wrong with me, right? And so I look at, and I see the reflection, like, this is just stupid, but, like, I can see the reflection of this monitor from this monitor, and I can kind of see, like, are there new messages? And I saw that there was like a post about like a tweet, and I'm like, I just had a feeling that I was getting suspended, right? I just had a feeling, and I looked and I got suspended, and I was like,
I get that feeling all the time.
This is the first time I got on the computer. I'm like, well, how long is it? I said 14 days. I said, thank God, right? Thank God. Now I'm gonna have 2 weeks to deal with this problem.
Good.
Right? So
I'm glad he's taking it well. Good, I'm glad.
And honestly, that's the way that I felt. Like, I wasn't really even stressed out or upset about it. I'm still really not. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, Twitch is fucking retarded, and what do you expect, right?
True.
You know, but anyway, so all this happens, and, you know, I immediately...
It's a left-wing platform that promotes terrorism. Everybody knows Twitch is a piece of shit. That's why we stream on Rumble. And that's the reason why it's so important that if you don't like Twitch, why don't you just come to my Rumble one time, give it a shot. I'm telling you, it's a great time. And if you're already a part of my YouTube community, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And if you don't want to watch mine, watch fucking Jake Monroe's. Watch Nux Taku's, watch Asmongold's. We're all streaming on Rumble for a fucking reason. It's a great platform. Honestly, any other platform besides Twitch is a better platform than Twitch. But personally, I love Rumble. They've helped me a lot. They're a great platform. I love the people who run it. I'm not going to lie. I'm very biased. But I think it's great because I've never had to worry a single time about being banned on this platform for merely saying the truth.
Just got off the computer. I didn't really think about it, honestly. So because I was so worried about this health problem, then fast forward to the following day, I talked to some couple of people that I know that I could ask about this, and I get one person. I go and I finally go to the emergency room after talking to one doctor, and they looked at everything. They basically said, calm down, retard, it's okay.
Good.
And I'm okay, especially this
Good.
morning. These symptoms have totally gone away.
Good.
If you want me to be honest, like just completely, like 100%, like just transparent, I'm still worried. I am. I'm 36 years old. I have had really no health problems ever in my entire life other than my teeth. And I see
Teeth are a very big issue because if they get infected, the bloodstream can become infected and go to your brain and instantaneously kill you. Teeth health is not something to take lightly. It's not. You really got to get on top of that.
all of my friends that are like, now they have this issue, now they have that issue, and it's like, when is it going to be time? My mom used to always say, and this would always upset me, but it's true, something's going to take you home, right? And it does really scare me a lot. And I,
If you are in your 30s and you're not taking your supplements every day, you are quite literally just asking for problems. I'll be honest, I've taken supplements every day since I was 25. They're the best. And I know I'm getting extra years of my life. And my family lives a very long time. My family usually lives into our late 90s, early 100s. So I'm going to be around for a very long time. Unless I get assassinated, which, probably. But the reality is you must take care of your health. Go to the gym, get some cardio, take your supplements. There's a reason why Hulk Hogan told all the kids, make sure to take your milk and vitamins. Right? Like, come on.
a lot of times I like to think of myself as being above that, right? But whenever you're faced with it, I realized that I was very much below it. I was extremely scared. I was very upset, and I was really worried. And so I've been dealing with that for the past about 3 or 4 days.
Jesus.
And now that it's at least partially resolved, I'm probably going to get a follow-up appointment and have, like a bit more testing done about this.
I'm glad he's taking this shit seriously. Yo, Casey, take care of your mans.
To make sure that I'm okay. But otherwise, that's pretty much the reason why I didn't make any comments about it. I was just so preoccupied with that, I just didn't really even give a fuck about Twitch, right? I mean, it's funny how, you can have something that's one of the biggest parts of your life, which is my stream, and then something else can happen, and it's the other thing just doesn't even exist anymore, right?
Wait till this guy gets married and has a kid, and he'll realize all this time he spent playing World of Warcraft and streaming is infinitely less fulfilling than finding the person that you love more than anybody and having kids with them. I'm telling you, bro. Asmongold, when he becomes a dad, holy fuck, I can't wait. And sorry, guys, I know I talk a lot about the beauty of the traditional household and the importance of having a wife and kids. And the reason why I talk about it so much is because for the past 20 years, the amount of anti-natalist propaganda that's been pushed onto the internet to make everybody think that parents are losers is insane. And so I am trying to do my part to right the wrong that big businesses have pushed onto women who say, actually, having kids is super lame. You should go work an office job instead. I'm telling you, man, when you're at your deathbed, you're not going to think, man, I was really happy I got fucking 2,200 and fucking Threes Arena in World of Warcraft. No, you're going to think, wow, look at all of my beautiful children. I'm going to miss them. I hope they have a great life. And it's just, this is actually, this is a very scary video, but it's a very beautiful one because Asmongold did need to be scared to take care of himself because we all love this guy. We want him to be okay. And I encourage everybody watching this video to go leave him a heart underneath this video. For real. We want this guy to be okay. This guy gets a lot of shit for no reason.
It's a very, very weird paradox of life. But anyway, so that's pretty much what happened with me, a couple of days ago and a few days ago. That's why I even taken a day off that day. And so, this happens, and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm such a relief. Now I don't have to feel bad about not going live, right? And so, anyway, I got suspended for 14 days. That's what happened. Wow, a 36-year-old man has a health scare. This has never happened before in the history of humanity. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was. So anyway, the second part is going to be about why I got suspended. So I got suspended because and just to add some context, because this has been very editorialized on the on Twitter and everything like this. But basically, what I said was that so Ceuta, which is and a little bit of geography here. So Spain is like on the top of the Mediterranean Sea. Strait of Gibraltar is like right here, Spain, right?
It's right above Morocco. Also, Urban, right, they're with $10. They train you to not get married, not to be proud of being American, not to be proud to have a job in the trades. Oh, and to hate white people. You all know this. Being married's bad. Being white is bad. Having kids is bad. Loving your American country's bad. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. And it's so nice that now people are waking the fuck up. And the current generation of kids are based as shit. And they're not going to deal with this. They're not, bro. There has never been a more base generation than the one that's upcoming. Because all the kids that were being raised by pussy-ass liberals were gentle parented. So all of the conservative kids are beating up those kids. And so, hey, boys, we're taking this country back. We are taking this country back.
And so...
give us like 20 years. We're going to lock the fuck in.
Underneath that is Morocco. And in the very, very tip of Morocco, there's a city that's owned by Spain. And it's been owned by Spain for hundreds of years. This isn't like something that's new. This isn't like a recent occupation. This has been going on for like, since before like it's like the Ottoman Empire time days, right? I don't know. I remember reading the date that it happened, but it was like literally hundreds of years ago. So they've had this city, it's called Ceuta, for a long time.
Yeah.
City has a population of about 80,000 people. And 40 to 60,000, obviously, just by the nature of this, it's not really verified how many. Random migrants just all came over in about basically one day's time into this small city.
That's almost one citizen to one illegal immigrant. Can you imagine your city's population doubling, but all of the people who doubled it are all criminals? Brother, it's a war zone. They just hot dropped Tomato Town. They just turned this shit into PUBG.
Now, this is, in my opinion, like in any other point in history, this would be viewed as a military invasion because, of course, the overwhelming majority of these people are military-aged men. And so what I said is that I think that if you have that many people pouring over your border and you just can't deal with it all, like you can look at the footage of this and it literally looks like it's World War Z. It looks like looks like a battlefield, right? It's like a hell on earth type situation. There's trash everywhere and everything.
I've made many videos on this, so I'm going to assume all you guys have seen this, so I'm not going to show B-roll.
I think I'm straight up said I think you should shoot these people, right? I mean, like, I believe that. I do. I mean, this is a violent military invasion into a city, and after they got into the city, obviously these people were smashing out windows. They were obviously, breaking into stores, stealing things out of stores. I saw like one video. It's always hard to know like what's real and what's not, but I saw a video and it's like, if you ever watch Troy, like whenever like a fucking Brad Pitt as Achilles like stabbed the dude in the neck at the beginning of the movie, that's like what happened. Like one of these like migrants seemingly stabbed the random citizen in the neck with this knife, right? And they killed this person, I'm assuming, right? Or at least they're in critical condition. So basically the city is being terrorized by a mass invasion of military-aged migrants that have come over for, various different reasons. And people are saying that you couldn't do that because, well, there might be kids in the crowd. And my response to that is that you should shoot them anyway. You should do this anyway. And it doesn't matter really what the collateral damage is.
The overall take is I agree, because if people are seeing that weaponizing children to commit crimes is a viable option, that in the long term, not even the long term, in the medium term, is going to lead to a lot of more children being put in harm's way until we show these violent criminals they cannot weaponize women and children to enact their misdeeds. And that's the truth of it. Because if they see it as a viable option, far more women and children are going to be hurt over the span of 2 years, 3 years, than would be injured on one fucking day. We need to execute these people with impunity. We must secure our borders, because if we do not, the world will descend into chaos.
You should defend your borders, especially when you're being invaded by such a massive force of people. So this never really was a conversation about like, baseline immigration enforcement. It was never about like, using kids or anything like that. But the reality is that with a lot of these third world countries and a lot of their cultures in the world, if you use a Western frame of reference to look at the values and the morality of the third world people like this, you're going to render yourself blind. You will not understand their theory of mind. They don't look at things the way that you do. That's why Joseph Kony has his child army, and there was Kony 2012 and everything. That never really went away, by the way. It's still happening. It might not be necessarily him, but there's other ones that are just as bad, if not worse. So the problem is that a lot of Westerners' morality is built off of the concept that everybody else thinks the way that we do, and unfortunately, that's not the reality. And so what these people will do is that they will bring kids with them, and they will use these kids as effectively human shields in order to invade the country and then take advantage of the people in the country. I view this a lot like a trolley problem, and so the reason what I mean by that is that basically you're choosing to stop the invaders here rather than creating a reward structure and an incentive structure around using kids, trafficking children, and effectively using them as political capital.
To explain the issue, to make it make more sense to people who are watching this, it was essentially a IQ check scenario where if you're retarded, you'll be enraged. If you actually think about it, you go, oh, actually, that makes sense. It sucks, but it makes sense. That's pretty much it.
To fulfill.
Sometimes you have to do bad things to keep the safety, to keep the peace.
An invasion's goal, which is to effectively take over this country. We're not take it over, right? But invade the city and then use the city as a way to get into mainland Spain and then disperse themselves all over Europe. This is, I think, a very bad thing, and I think it should be stopped by any means necessary.
Yes, absolutely.
I think this is a horrible problem. A lot of the people that are coming over there, many of them could be criminals. We have no idea.
The moment you illegally trespass and cross someone's border illegally, you are a criminal. There's not a chance they are criminals. They are criminals immediately by nature.
People said Morocco emptied their prisons and let those people come over. I have no idea if they did that or not. I would assume many cases they did. That's what Russia's done apparently with Ukraine. And so I don't really think this is the first time this has ever happened. There's many precedents for this. A lot of people look at this from the perspective of human rights or something like this, and I find this to be one of the most malignant and pernicious abuses and inversions of morality that we have nowadays, and I'll explain why. Never once have I ever heard about the human rights or the privileges or, what's the right thing to do for all of the people in the city who are now having to be terrified in their homes, boarding their houses up. You have these migrants banging on their doors, smashing their windows, destroying their businesses, potentially
setting fire to Teslas,
violating them, attacking them, and doing whatever they can to these people.
Throwing boulders at police officers.
Not once in my entire life have I ever heard about the concept of their human rights. I never hear about the people who have been the victims of these policies and this lax enforcement, whose lives have been effectively destroyed, and then for some reason we never think about them. We don't care about them. The only people that
It's because brainwashed liberal women value criminals' lives more than their own people. And can I tell you, and I'm going to break this down for you guys. Do you guys ever notice how white liberal women are the biggest retards on earth? I'm gonna really open your eyes up. I'm gonna explain to you why white liberal women are the biggest dumb fucks on earth and how we, through evolution, have gotten to that point. We're gonna talk about black fathers. They're not there. Let's be real. Black men abandon their families. Statistically, it happens way more often than any other race. Hispanics, they get weird, they probably beat their wives. Asians, they're too busy working, they're never around their wives, ever. They're business-minded, they're grinding, they're emotionally distant. And then you have white men. And white men, I ain't gonna lie, the most goated fathers statistically in all of the world. And so they shelter, they nurture, they provide, they're emotionally available for their wives. And what does that allow the white women to do? Be ignorant, be stupid. That's what they do. They allow their women to be ignorant and stupid because they know that their husbands are going to take care of them no matter what. And that's the truth. Statistically, everything I'm saying, you can look into it yourself. They're the most sheltered women on the entire earth, which allows them to be fucking retarded. And so they don't have problems in their lives. So what do they have to do? They have to adopt other people's problems on themselves to feel fulfilled because they're already loved in their household, they're already well taken care of. And so they have to adopt other people's issues. This does not go for white conservative women. That is white liberals only. They have to say, actually, oh God, the fucking illegal criminals. Oh God, I just can't fucking stop thinking about it. Oh! So they're retarded because white men are too good. That's the truth. I'm not going to let my girl be that way. She's super bright and knows how to do shit. Oh, no, absolutely. It's not all women out. No, absolutely not. Right? But, white conservative women, they're great. But white liberal women, that's a fucking, that's like a chemical formula created in a lab for pure retardation. Anyways, weaponized empathy? Absolutely. Suicidal empathy is what it's called.
We care about
That's why they have it.
Invaders that are going around.
Also, shout outs to all the black dads who are still around. But just to make sure, I'm going to show you some statistics. The results may shock you. What race per capita has the most absent fathers? Black African-American children in the U.S. have the highest rates of living without a resident father or in a single-parent household by a substantial margin. You can say that I'm racist, or you can acknowledge that I'm just very aware of statistics. Okay? There's nothing racist here, just saying who's more likely to statistically. So let's all calm down. Anyways, I'm racist.
Trying to take advantage of the country. And I think this is a profound inversion of morality. I don't think that any country has an obligation to take in migrants. I don't think any country has an obligation to let people invade their borders. And I think that at the capacity that was happening with Cuba, I do think that you should use lethal military force to repel a literal fucking invasion.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's show it. Look at this, bro. It's literally like a fucking battle royale. Every single one of these people, they're all illegal. They're coming in. Look at this. It's literally World War Z. Like, yeah, bro, mow them the fuck down because they say, oh, they can't get all of us. Oh, really? Oh, really?
In mind, this is a city of 80,000 people, and 40 to 60,000 additional people tried to come in one day.
It's too much.
That's an invasion, and I think they should use guns to stop it. And I'm not sorry for saying that. And it doesn't matter what you try to use as, emotional blackmail or something like that. Fundamentally, all of these different tools that these people use will never actually be applied in a universal way. These are the same people whose ideology leads them to thinking that 6-year-olds can transition to another gender. They're the ones that lead themselves to, defending Hamas and terrorist propaganda.
True.
Because terrorists like to use kids as human shields as well, because they like to shoot rockets from schools. The reason why they do that is because there is a reward structure inside of our society that puts the damaging and the harm to children and women at a higher standard than the harm to like a military-aged man. Now, in a general sense, I would agree with that in a peacetime reality, but whenever these people are launching rockets and large-scale invasions, I think that you need to look at this as a wartime event.
I agree.
And I would ask yourself, how many people got killed in World War II? How many people get killed in every single war? Civilian casualties and killing anybody who's not a combatant is a tragedy. It's a horrible thing to have happen.
It is.
But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have borders, and it doesn't mean that you can't make decisions to protect your own people, even if it comes at the expense of other people that are trying to do this in bad faith and use this. And by the way, the usage of people like this as human shields is a war crime in itself.
Absolutely.
And that's, I think, the biggest issue that I have with a lot of...
And I hate how people are painting the defenders as the bad guy when the aggressors are putting this emotional responsibility onto them. People are not in the wrong for defending themselves and defending their borders.
These people that are criticizing this is that I don't think that they really care about these kids. They don't give a shit about them. Like, these are the people, they'll bring kids to an ICE protest. Why would you bring a kid to a protest where there's rioting and there's flashbang grenades and tear gas being set off? And the truth is, and there is a reason for it, the reason why they do that is because they want to use these kids and the harm that these kids will inevitably go through because of collateral damage, and they want to use this as a political tool so they can advance their agenda. These people they're sick. They're sick, evil people. And I also referred to the people that use the human shields as animals. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think they're
Yep.
fucking animals.
Yep.
If you use children as human shields in order for you to invade a country or in order for you to do terrorist attacks, I think that you're a fucking animal. And I'm not
Oh, by the way, there are literally terrorists who were putting literal children on riot shields. That way, people couldn't shoot at them. And if you don't understand how disgusting that is, this is the behavior that we are allowing. And these are the levels that they will stoop to make sure that we cannot protect ourselves. Same thing, Asmon's right. They were literally shooting missiles from elementary schools. That way, if we were to track the missile's origin and counterattack, we would blow up children. These are real things that have happened, guys. These aren't hypotheticals.
sorry for it, and I honestly think that most people agree with me. I think that almost everybody does. But unfortunately, we've had this inversion of morality where these truly evil, malignant, pernicious people have been allowed to use this fake moral authority that they have to dictate that we have to allow terrorism, violence, and complete societal collapse. And if we don't allow this, somehow we're the ones that are evil.
Yep.
I reject this completely. And I understand that in doing so,
This is like exactly what I said, but like 2 days later, bro. I really feel like Asmongold just watches all my videos. Like, I'm not gonna lie. By the way, I love you, buddy.
there might be some people, this isn't a very comfortable thing to say. It's not a very polite thing to say. This isn't.
I think it's a very comfortable, common sense thing to say. I really feel like what he's saying isn't even that crazy, bro. Don't allow people to weaponize the lives of children and women and put that emotional weight on us. You know, it's really that simple.
Something that you'd read on a bumper sticker. But I think this is the nature of the world, and it's the nature of the reality that we live in. And I don't want to use a bunch of euphemisms and other types of vague and pacified language to discuss this in a way that is not authentic to its true harm and its true existence, which is what I think that's what it is. And I think that there are definitely criticisms people have of me that are valid, where like I probably do dial it up a little bit too much and maybe I could use different rhetoric, etc.
I really don't think it was that bad, bro. Like, I'll be real. Like, I don't even think that's like top 5 worst Asmongold take. Like, I think like top 1, like most controversial take where he said that Wrath of the Lich King was like a mid-expansion. Like, that one pissed me off. Right. Other than that, I really don't think anything Asmon says is really like that polarizing. All you have to do is just like think about it for 5 seconds and go, oh yeah, true.
But I want to let you know that I apologize for nothing.
Good.
I meant exactly what I said.
Good.
And I think that these borders should be defended with lethal force whenever it's being invaded by 40 to 60,000 people at the same
Absolutely.
time. That's an incredibly dangerous thing for all the people that live in that country. And
Yep.
I don't think that a government has an obligation to allow a bunch of invaders to pour over
Nope.
and potentially kill their own citizens. I find
True.
this to just be horrible. And ultimately it should be stopped. Also,
Oh, and that one time he called fat bitches an A or S tier body type. That shit was insane.
there are a lot of other patterns. Like I'll give another parallel to this as well, is that in a lot of gang culture, what they do, and this is, of course, nothing like this is a monolith, but many of people like this, what they do is they'll use children to commit crimes because they know the children will not be sentenced in the same way that an adult will do. And
Yep.
what my biggest argument for all of this is that I generally, and I know people might not believe this, I think most people do believe this, but the people that don't like me don't believe this, or they don't want to, is that I think that I really do have the most moral and ethical position on this. Because the moment that you create an incentive, you also drive a behavior. And in my opinion, if you don't capitulate to this emotional blackmail, you also don't allow these people to target and victimize these children by using them as baggage and effectively shock troopers
True.
in order to accomplish a goal. So, for example, if these kids were being charged as adults, the entire tool that these people were using, these gangs were using of having children commit crimes on their behalf, this tool would effectively be rendered ineffective. But we don't want to do that because it makes people sad to put kids in jail. But from my perspective, the way that I see it is that it makes me sad to see kids that were abused, that are trafficked, and that are put into these situations because the people that are truly and profoundly evil, The people that know this know that they can use these children because they can co-opt and use your morality against you so they can push their own evil designs.
Yep.
And I think that you do have to reject this in its entirety in order to have a society that isn't ruled by evil, inversion, and other types of just completely horrible people. And ultimately, you do have to sometimes make hard decisions like that, but ultimately making...
People aren't willing to do hard decisions for their country. They need everything to be light and fluffy. They do. People these days have become such fucking pussies. You know, it's like legit, like you put them in Undertale, they're going to do pacifist, and then they're going to have an anxiety attack if they ever do the genocide run. They can't do it, bro. They can't make the hard decisions. They're not going to go the weird route. They're not going to fucking do it, bro. It's embarrassing. It is legitimately embarrassing.
A hard decision like that.
Like, we're getting to a point where parents won't even discipline their kids because they don't want to be mean. Hell no. If your kid gets out of line, you must discipline them. You must. Because if you don't, they're going to become a menace to society. And that's why, I mean, go to your Starbucks, bro. Go to your Starbucks and watch what happens when Karen gets her fucking name misspelled. She's going to have a panic attack. She's going to break shit. Go to GameStop and watch a transgender be called a sir. Okay? It's not a great world out there, man, and we need some corrective action.
Should never have. That's my alarm. I was supposed to get up. It's 2:46 p.m. And so, excuse me on that.
Jesus.
So you do have to make these hard decisions. You do have to do things that are obviously, sometimes not the nicest things in the world. But I think that in order to do that, you do that in the goal to preserve a culture that is the best place that you want to live in the world.
That's a great point. If you want to know how kids are, where they weren't raised right, look no further than Rakai. Look no further than Rakai, brother.
As well. So that's the problem that I have. I don't think that I said anything wrong. I think that a lot of people actually would agree with me.
Yep.
And I think that the way that we've taken military action in the past, things like, for example, World War II, would indicate that actually this is not as much an objective reality that some people would make it out to be. And again, these are the same people that have no problem using children as props.
Of course.
And having them, like groomed by adults, about their gender, taking them to ICE protests, putting them directly in danger because they're a riot.
Preschool teachers and kindergartners bring children to ICE protests, hoping that an officer shoots one of them. That way they can cry about how ICE officers are shooting children, and that way they can completely destroy the entire establishment from the ground up. People are getting more and more comfortable putting children in harm's way because we haven't taken a single extreme corrective action one time.
Hitters and criminals and violence there. Who would ever bring a kid there? And these...
Oh, do you want me to prove that? I can do that. So here's a great image of preschool teachers bringing their kids to ICE protests, which, by the way, is fucking psychotic that our teachers are grooming our children to enact their political agendas. There's many more images I could show of that, but people already know this is common knowledge. You can grok it. Yeah. If you don't think that the schools are indoctrinating your children to enact their political beliefs, you are sorely mistaken, buddy. And when you get them that early, yeah, that's sticking with them for life. They should be put in prison for that? I absolutely agree.
These are the same people that are saying that I'm wrong for saying that creating an incentive for people to human traffic children and use them as human shields is a bad thing. And so I apologize for absolutely nothing. I said it in a very abrasive way, and I'm going to continue communicating that way.
Yep.
That's how I was raised. The reality is that, I was driving my dad to the hospital. He was like getting one of his cancer treatments. And he said, well, what's funny about this? And I said, what? And he says, well, now they can say you killed me too, just like they say you killed your mom.
Thanks, Hassan Piker. Thanks for that. Isn't that great? And I'm glad he's taken this on the chin. But what a disgusting narrative that's been pushed on this man for years. Because they can't operate in reality. They can't. So they must hallucinate their own headcanons and put them on other people. Because they need Asmongold to not be liked. They need Nux to not be liked. They need Jake to not be liked. They need me to not be liked. They need Donut to not be liked. They need Kiers to not be liked. And many other people who say the same things as us. And it's disgusting to claim a man killed his own mother just so that way you can dunk on him politically. What sick fucks these liberal retards are.
That's the way I grew up. That's the way I communicate. And
Yep.
that's the way I think.
Yep.
And I'm not sorry. And I understand that sometimes I use abrasive language. Sometimes I communicate in a way that's a little bit, harsh. And, people can say I'm mean. They can say I'm evil. They can say everything. But they're not saying I'm wrong. And
Hey, isn't that what Hassan Piker said at that one meeting? Didn't Hassan Piker say that when he was speaking to college students? This must be a Hassan Piker quote.
I think that ultimately we should look at a lot of these uncomfortable truths with a lot more of a clear mind, rather than allowing it to be polluted by people that I think want to hurt us, people that want to put us in a position that is not advantageous. And that's the reason why I communicate the way that I do. It is hopefully to normalize this type of language and for people to see things for what they are rather than what they want them to be. And I think that's for better and for worse. So that's the reason why I talk the way that I do. I'm not sorry. It's probably not going to it's probably not going to stop. I might try to I'm going to try to obviously tone it down a little bit, because I don't want to get suspended all the time, right? Contrary to popular belief, it's great to have a vacation, but I don't want to have them all the time. And so, I
hope he tones down nothing, and I hope he gets more vacations, because I just want him to fucking just really lock in. Once he moves into a new house and starts being more active in the gym, then fuck it. He's good to go. Stream forever. But he needs to, we all agree, he needs to get the fuck out of that house. He does, bro. It's rotting. Like, you think your body's dying, bro? Get a health inspector to come to your house, and I guarantee they will tell you, you need to do something about this or move.
That's pretty much where things stand. That's the way that I feel. That's my reasoning for it. I view it as a trolley problem, and I think it enables human trafficking the moment that you capitulate to that type of emotional blackmail.
I agree.
So that's really the way that I feel. And I know this might be a harsh opinion. It might not be something that everybody agrees with, but I think it is the ethically correct thing to do, given the the implications of doing otherwise. So anyway, that's the way that I feel. Now, what's going to happen now? I'll probably file an appeal in a day or so. Hopefully I can get unsuspended earlier. I don't really know. I'll probably, I can try to, I wish I could just talk to them. It's really funny. So Twitch emails me and they say yeah, you had an accidental content violation because you accidentally showed something on your stream you shouldn't have showed. And they sent me an email for this. So I said, I respond back. I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And so then I get suspended for 2 weeks. No email. I don't have any email. So this is the funniest thing, by the way. I actually don't even know this is why I got banned. Twitch has never communicated to me what the thing is that I did wrong that got me banned.
Isn't that such a great platform where they ban you and they don't even tell you why they banned you? Isn't that fun?
I'm just guessing it's probably the thing that everybody was mad about, right? So, I don't know. Maybe it's actually some other random clip that had nothing to do.
Let me tell you what happened. You said that Hassan Brigade of this community get you mass violated and reported you, and then Twitch banned you without checking, and that's why they haven't sent you a reason yet, obviously.
With this. But, that's generally what my thinking on it is. Will I be back? Yeah, sure, I'll be back. It's been nice to have a little bit of a vacation. I've been stressed out about other, life stuff. I feel like I'm in kind of a position in my life now where it's like, what am I doing with my life? Where do I want to be in 5 or 10 years, right?
Get married, have kids. Get married, have kids. Get married, have kids. Okay, bro, Asmon, go to fucking China. Get Casey, get a new house here in Texas to save on fucking property tax, okay? Or so not property tax, state tax. Get her to come on over. Tell her to quit the prostitute shit, right? And say you'll support her. It's that easy. And just take care of her. Yep. And she'll say, yes, I'm with Asmon for the money. And hey, Asmon say, yep, and I don't give a fuck. And tell all these other motherfuckers to fuck off. It ain't their business. Okay? You got a great woman there, bro. You do. You do. Lock it in, brother. Lock it in. Okay? Just come on. Go get her. Bring her over. Knock her up. Have some kids. That easy. Okay? Make Shinzo Abe proud. Sure, you're diluting the gene pool. Whatever. At least it's with an Asian, another S-tier class. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's like, you know, kind of midlife crisis type stuff I'm dealing with. I don't talk about this a lot on stream because it's stupid, boring, and it's also, it's indulgent. And I don't want to treat my viewers like my own personal diary. But I have been going through my own personal issues as well, especially right after losing both my parents, and I'm living here by myself. And, you know, it gives you a lot of questions for, like, what to do in life. And, you know, I don't want to get too into that, but, you know, just know that that's the backdrop for a lot of the ways that, you know, like, I'm dealing with things personally off stream. And so, yeah, and then all these things happen. I have this health scare, and it's like, oh my God, this is, you know, like, am I dying, right? Is this happening? And so that's really kind of why I haven't immediately responded. It had nothing to do really with Twitch at all. I was worried about something that was a lot more important. So anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I'll be back really soon. I haven't really decided. Maybe I'll just come back and stream on Kick. I can just wait out the suspension.
Wait out the suspension. Brother, wait out the suspension. Go on a nice vacation. Lock the fuck in. Go get that hair transplant. Go get in the fucking gym. Come on, bro. Listen, brother. Listen, Asmongold's already made his millions. He doesn't need any more fucking money. Come back for midterms and farm the fuck out of it. Really that easy.
I don't really know. I'll probably get a few other, like, real life weekly and monthly quests done.
There you go.
And, you know, just try to relax a little bit.
Good.
Great. I slept for like 10 hours yesterday.
Good.
So I'm in kind of good mood right now. And so, yeah, anyway, that's pretty much what the plan is. And, yeah, that's about all I've got. I'll be back, and, yeah, see you next time. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching and sticking around this long. Sorry it's such a long video. There's a lot to talk about, and a lot that's happened. So, yeah, that's the way I feel. That's where I'm at. That's what's going on, and I'll see you guys very soon. So until next time, boys, peace. See ya.
There you go. Okay. Good. He's not fucking dying. You know, gets his life in check. Calls it a day. Good for him, man. I'm happy for him.